All right, we had a pretty good productive day today. Didn't even need to use the table saw once today, but we did get a lot of flooring installed. So this here is the flow into the kitchen, but here we are in the dining room. So we were cruising along really well. We were coming up to the wall here, and then the piston or seals in our rental nailer burst, and it was just blowing out air. So we're going to run this back over to the orange box and exchange it for another one that will hopefully get the rest of the job done. But anyway, this is what we got going here. We got almost all of the living room finished, looking just awesome. So we will come over here and hit this with finish nails in the morning. So we have the two areas in the living room against the walls to finish. We have to do from here over in the dining room and here in the other side of the dining room. And then we got to go under the desk and over under the fridge and the rest of the kitchen, under the stove, under the dishwasher. And anyway, this is really sweet. This is working out just beautifully. Then we got to come over here and meet up to the bathroom. All right. So there you go. A very excellent, productive day. We are making very good progress installing the white oak floors here. You see Mitch is nailing away there, and I am fitting flooring along the kitchen into the laundry area. So we're going to get a pretty good amount of this floor done today. And we are also going to go at lunchtime. I'm going to run over and rent a air nailer, and that will speed things up a bit. And part of the reason that we need the air nailer is that as we get closer to the cabinets, it becomes harder to safely pound down on the driver on the mechanical floor nailer, and you run the risk of bouncing the hammer off the nailer and jamming into the cabinet doors. And then also on the swing, it's possible that we could also hit the nice new expensive granite countertops, which that would make me very unhappy. So we're going to keep going here, and in a little bit we'll see the yellow DeWalt floor nailer. Okay, so the Mitch and the unknown mechanic are working the dining area and coming across into the kitchen, and then I'm working at the end of the row in the kitchen to finish the rows, because each finished end needs to be measured and cut and fitted in. So I'm putting in a change of view and cutting the ties on a bundle and getting ready to do some more nailing. So now we do have the air nailer. Mitch and the unknown mechanic are working out in the dining room with that, and I am in here with the mechanical nailer. In the laundry area, I have lots of room yet to make a swing, so that works out pretty well. The air nailer sure is nice to use. It just takes a little tap on the trigger to make it fire, whereas this one here takes a good hard swing of the arm. And I don't mind using this thing, but other people get sore hands and sore arms and blisters on their thumb after a while. But I guess I've done it for so many years that I've just got all the calluses in the right places. So what I'm doing here is this particular wood flooring is engineered to fit fairly tight. It's pretty unforgiving, so we have to make sure that every course of nails is set all the way down. And on most of the wood that we've done, there is kind of a little bit of a relief on the groove. It has a rounded inside, and so it will be more forgiving fitting up against nails, whereas this is more of a squared cut and it is not forgiving. So we have to make sure that we have all the nails are set properly, and if they're not set properly, then we have to set them properly, get a punch out and hammer them down so that the next course of wood will seat flat against the previous course. Okay, so I am in there. There you see Mitch's with the floor nailer, the pneumatic floor nailer. And so we're going to be running back and forth and back and forth. There, I'm getting some more wood shoved down in here. And I'm just placing wood, and then Mitch is going to come along behind me and nail it in place. And as you're laying these strips of wood, you are constantly watching to make sure that the butt joint of one row is not close to the butt joint of another row. And generally we like to make sure that there are about 3 rows where the butt joints don't line up well, and it just doesn't quite look right when you have butt joints right next to each other. And so we're careful about that. Now also in that hallway there, you see the door frame where I'm working in right now. The back end of the house kind of drops down a little bit there, and so the planks of the flooring are going to be curving downward. So what we are doing in that place is we are running long boards over that section so that they are easy to install them, and then they nail over a long length, and that way we know that they are going to be secure and not going to have any kind of an issue with bounciness or squeaks or anything, no troubles. That's what we're trying to prevent, is any kind of trouble. So when there is a little hump in the floor and you can't do anything about it, then you select a longer board to span it and make sure that you nail it down. We step on it and nail it at the same time to make sure it is held down and flat. Okay, so I am just checking a quick message from the lovely Miss Kelly, and now Dave and I are moving out into the dining room. Mitch has taken off for the day. He drove his 1967 GTO up to the job, and he was having fun doing that. I probably should have run out and taken a picture of it. But so Dave just laid out a roll of aqua bar, and now he is starting to fit the next pieces of wood, and I will come in and start nailing here in a second. And so my usual technique is I will nail in from each end on the first nail, and then nail the end of the board. And I do that because it will sometimes take care of any gap problems. And so you'll see me kind of go along, and I will go back and forth with the nailer as I nail different ends of the board. So David's just fitting one under the threshold of the door there. Sometimes things are a little bit stickier than others. So I'm nailing away, and he is setting the boards in position, tapping them in place, making sure the gaps are tight, making sure the gaps aren't lining up with previous rows. And then there is the last piece that fits under the oak door jamb. But yeah, we're excited to see this oak flooring finished. This is early on Monday morning, and we're both a little tired this morning and just kind of hanging out. And after I finish narrating this video, then we're going to head back up to the house and do it all over again. So we are going to nail these boards up to the point where I can't hammer them anymore. And that's about 3 or 4 courses from the wall. And that's just the limit of what the nailer will do, because the trigger that you tap with the hammer is against the wall and you just can't get it. So we will have to finish the rest of it with the we have the Hitachi angled finish nailer that shoots a round-headed finish nail, and we prefer the round-headed nail because it has more holding power. And then also what I'm doing is I bought some stainless steel nails for the finish nailer, and that way there's no chance of any rust forming. I could have bought galvanized nails and it probably would have been just fine, but that's just the way I do things, is I always like to get the best. So we're getting pretty close to the end there. Not going to be able to fit much more. This is also the point where I'm starting to have some issues with the floor nailer. It is all of a sudden bleeding off air, and so the seal inside of it seems to have failed. The gun is still working, but it is going to go completely out on us by the end of the video. And so that's going to be kind of an annoying thing to have happen. Okay, so we're just fitting the last little bit of aqua bar against the wall there. And we're just cutting it short lengths of it and then going across that way, trying to be as efficient as we can, because the roll is 500 square feet and the house is 474 square feet of floor space. So we want to make sure that we don't use up all of the aqua bar. We want to get it. Now, right now, we just opened the door there because it is hailing heavily, major downburst, and rain was blasting on the top of the fence and spraying all over the porch and the house because the gutters aren't in. So we set up a section of gutter to the downspout over the porch and direct the rain water away from the house. So that worked out well. Okay, so we have gotten as close as we could in the living room, and now we are trying to wrap it up in the dining room here. We're going against the walls and into the kitchen area, and so this row here, the unknown mechanic is laying the wood across, and then I'm going to fit this last piece in there under the door jamb. And so we have to fit one on this side and one on the other side. Yeah, okay, this is the row that has to be fit tight under the door jamb. And so we're going to measure that out, run over, cut it. And we selected a short piece that the tongue will be under the door jamb, and then the adjacent piece on the other side of the door jamb will have the groove, and we will tap them together, and there will be a nice tongue and groove connection under the door jamb, so everything will be nice and tight fitting and solid and connected. Okay, so we're just about done with that. There goes the nails, and we're going to keep going until the nail gun blows out, and it just blew out on us there. So we're going to call it a day here. We're going to run over to Home Depot and trade this gun for another one. All right, I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we blew out the diaphragm or seal or something, but you can see the grease coming out through the vent on the floor nailer. So we're going to run it back over to the orange box and hopefully trade it for, they had another one on the shelf, and have it ready first thing in the morning. Because for one thing, it really pissed off the unknown mechanic. He was really on a roll there. Weren't you pissed?
I was pissed.
I was pissed. Okay.